Today we're going to make the best potato salad you ever ate. And I guarantee it. Well, I'm going to start out with 10 pounds of potatoes. And I'm going to also have a dozen eggs. You're also going to need some Miracle Whip, mayonnaise, onions, celery, salt, and pepper. You know, and then just cut them up. And that's about 3 stalks chopped up. With your onions, you want to take off these bottom parts, like that. And then you chop up your onion however you want. And there's those onions I showed you all chopped up. I'm just going to take those and put them in a bowl. A sure method I have at cooking eggs, boiling eggs, is I simmer them for 15 minutes. And then I put a lid on it and I let it sit another 10. But I turn off the fire. Pour the water out, not totally. And just let cold water. There you go. Just let cold water get into them. Pour it off a couple times. However you want to do it. But your eggs should be cold. Instead of running around burning your hands, as a lot of people do, just keep putting cold water in. When the eggs can actually sit for a while, I'll show you. When they can actually sit for a while and the water is still cold, the eggs are be cold enough to work with. So look at the size of that. The potatoes, you want to make sure you boil them for at least 30 minutes. Don't boil them, high boil them. I would say medium boil them. Then I want you to take a knife, go in the potato. You can feel when it's done. Alright? And after 30 minutes, you know what I say? Leave them potatoes alone in that boiling water, that hot water. Turn it off, put a lid on it, and let it sit for another 20 minutes. You're going to have perfect potatoes. If you have fresh eggs like I do, and I have very, very fresh eggs because my chickens and my ducks lay them every day. So one of the things you'll find that frustrates a lot of people is that when eggs are fresh, you cannot peel them. You'll break up the egg. So what I've learned to do is I just take my knife and I go ahead and I pop it like this. And then I use a spoon, and I just scoop out my egg, basically. You're just not going to be able to have those beautiful eggs that you make those deviled eggs with. If that's what you're looking for, go to the store and get you some eggs. Those are old eggs. They've been in the freezer for a while, the refrigeration unit. That was a duck egg, and I just do the same thing with the chicken eggs. Whoop. Again, I'm not going to be able to make deviled eggs out of this, but you know what, you can make a nice egg salad and stuff. Oh, where'd that go? It's good we just have fun with this kitchen. And as you see again, so I'm going to do this with all of the eggs, and then when I'm all done, I'll chop them up, in chunks. You see how they are? I'll chop them up in chunks, and that'll be nice for the potato salad. In case you're going to tell me, to use a little bit of vinegar or this and that, it does not work with fresh eggs. I've tried everything I can think of over the course of 30 some odd years. It does not work. So now that I have all my eggs there, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop these up a little bit. And the way I do is I take, this is a pastry. This mixes up your pastry, and I'm just going to go, not a lot, because I like big chunks to make. I'll show you. I like big chunks to my eggs. I don't like small chunks. But you know what? I'm just going to break it up. So there'll be big chunks and little chunks. The whole thing is you want nice chunks of egg. You don't want, if there's big chunks, just chop it up. The potatoes have been sitting about 20-25 minutes. They're still hot. So what I'm going to do is run it off. I'm going to take off all the water and put it under the sink and get these cooled off. My potatoes are cooked, they're perfecto, and now I'm going to run cold water in them. I'll tell you what, if I was conserving water, I would just let my potatoes get cool at room temperature and just take its time. I just don't have a lot of time. Once your potatoes are easy to handle, they're cooled off. You know, don't use hot potatoes, and I'll tell you why. Because the mayonnaise will just suck into it, and that might sound good, but it's really not. So what you're going to do, and this is the way I do my potatoes, I just take the edge and I skim it. Like that. Some people like a little potato skin in their salad. If your people like that, go ahead and leave a little bit on. You don't want a whole potato salad full of skin. It just doesn't look good. But these are red potatoes, by the way. I don't know if I ever said that. I find red potatoes make the sweetest potato salad, but in reality, any potato. You could use any potato at all. I'm growing right now, we're growing the Yukon, and we use that for everything. Baked potatoes, it don't matter. Some people are potato purists, I guess. You're always going to have those who think they're connoisseurs. So you see how nice that did? And all I did was scrape my knife. Alright? I just scraped my knife. Look how I do this. Just scrape it, and it comes right off. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to do up all these potatoes. When all your potatoes are done, and you have them in a bowl, make sure you put them in a bowl that's a lot bigger than what your potatoes are, because we're going to need to do a few things with our hands and mush it up. I'm showing you how to make real homemade potato salad, not that stuff that is purchased in a store. Once you eat this kind of potato salad, you can never go back. The only thing that might improve this potato salad is to put some fresh crisp bacon in it just before it's ate. Now I know I'm usually very, very good about one bowl cooking, but to show you I can't do that. I pretty much could do it myself, but I just can't do it right now. But I want to show you about the potato. If you're going to cook a potato for potato salad, don't use little pieces. Alright? Cut your potato in fourths, and then take your potato and make it into chunks. Nice big pieces, a big piece. That's nice to put on your fork and eat that. Those little itty bitty little pieces like you have in the store, forget it. That's not real home cooking. I can tell a mile away who's made a homemade potato salad and who hasn't. And to be honest with you, most people don't. That's why I'm always asked to bring the potato salad, because people like my potato salad. If you just try it one time my way, I swear you'll be hooked. I know you will. So here we go. We got a nice big bowl of the finished potatoes, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them in my red pan. Oops, that's right. Drop it in. You see, these are nice big chunks. Alright, don't be shy. Let's take our, alright, that's our onion and our celery, and we throw that in there. You know, any of you that were freaked out with me before with hands-on food, wait till you see this. This is just going to get better and better. And I'm going to take about 3/4 of that egg mixture, and I'm going to throw that in there. Now to this, you can add the cracked kind of salt like this, or you can use just little salt shaker going to town, but don't put too much. Let people put their own on. Alright? And then I go ahead and I use black pepper. Why? Because that's what we use all the time. And I'm not a gourmet chef, I'm just a darn good chef. I'm a good cook. And we use black pepper. I'm not going to pay a bunch of money for white pepper that just tastes like pepper. So now anyway, I got everything in there, and we're going to use, I'm going to start out using about a cup of mayonnaise and about a half a cup of Miracle Whip. I'm not going, you know what, I'm going to change that to about, let's go with a cup and a half of mayonnaise. And I'm going to show you why, because I'm going to use my hands. There's none of this, using a utensil, because what that'll do is break up your potato, and you don't want potato mush. You want chunk potato salad. That's why I should name this, in fact I will. I'm going to name this Chunky Potato Salad. And the reason why I use a little bit of Miracle Whip, okay, I use a little bit of it because it helps just get a little tangy flavor, but mostly mayonnaise. So if you're a mayonnaise purist and you want to even make your own mayonnaise, go right ahead. And why not? So now you see how that is? I got all that in there. Now we're just going to do it Deb's way. And that is, we're going to mix this up. And yes, your hands are going to get ooey gooey, but you know what? You can be very, very gentle here. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to need more in the way of mayonnaise. You're going to be very gentle. You're going to fold this in. See how that is? I just go all the way under and I fold that in. I've never had to do this before with the bowl on its side, but I'm going to practice it. I do not like that tripod. I just don't like it. It gets in my way, and maybe I'll have to learn how to use it more. No, it looks like this was fine. Now I'll tell you what's going to happen. When I put this in the refrigerator in another bowl, this is going to get a little bit dry. And that's okay, because what's happening is the mayonnaise in that is getting sucked into potatoes, even though my potatoes are cold. So what you might do on the second, or just before you take it wherever you're going to go, you might want to put a little bit more mayonnaise in it and make it a little bit more wet. And then I'm going to show you what to do, how to make a presentation with this, and it's just beautiful. We're going to take this and we're going to transfer it into our pretty bowl, our nice serving bowl, and leave it to me to slap stuff around. This is going to make a big, big potato salad, but I guarantee it will be a hit. If it's not a hit, you tell me. I won't believe you anyway, but you could always tell me. Just get it all out of there. How pretty is that, huh? There is nothing better than homemade. And I don't care how expensive. I have tasted potato salad that cost $26 a pound. And to me that was crazy. But $26 a pound, and no, it wasn't as good as mine. And I'm going to take some of my eggs. I'm going to just throw them up there on top. Is this a dish for cholesterol-minded people? Probably not. But I'm going to bring that a little bit closer so you can see how that looks. Just putting a little bit on. A little bit here, a little bit there. Just makes it look pretty. And then we're going to take paprika. If you like paprika, now if you don't like paprika, don't do this. And you just sprinkle it a little bit. Alright, don't get too nuts with it. And you know what? Aha! That is a dish to set before a king. This is wonderful.